Have you ever stopped to think about how, well, anything gets made? I mean, from the phone you're probably holding right now to the food you ate for breakfast, there's this incredible, often invisible process at work. It's called production. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works and why it's pretty much the engine that drives our entire world.
Now, really, just for a second, look at the stuff around you. None of it just magically appeared, right? Every single object started a journey, a kind of transformation from a raw idea or material into something that shapes our lives. Even that device you're watching this on right now.
It began its life as minerals buried deep in the earth, mixed with brilliant ideas in an engineer's mind, and then put together piece by piece on an assembly line.
That was once a tree standing in a forest. It had to be felled, cut into lumber, and then shaped by skilled hands and powerful machines.
Yep, even that started out as simple grains of wheat growing in a field, which then had to be harvested, ground into flour, and finally baked. This constant process of transformation, that is the heart of what we're diving into today.
So, what's the official name for all this? Well, in economics, it's called production. And it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. It's just the process of turning inputs, things like raw materials, effort, and ideas, into outputs that we want or need. And hey, it's not just about physical stuff. A service like a haircut, a bus ride, or even this explainer is also a form of production.
Okay, so to make anything, you need a recipe. And that recipe always has 4 essential ingredients. Economists call these the factors of production. Honestly, just think of them as the fundamental building blocks for creating, well, literally everything. First up, we've got land. Now, this isn't just a plot of ground you can build a house on. In economics, land means all the natural resources the planet gives us. We're talking the soil that grows our food, the water in our oceans, the oil and minerals under our feet, even the sunlight. It's the raw, natural starting point for everything.
Next, you absolutely need labor. This is the human element. It's all the physical and mental effort that people put into creating something. So, it's the construction worker laying bricks, for sure, but it's also the software developer writing thousands of lines of code. It's the brain power and the muscle power.
Our third ingredient is capital. And be careful with this one. When an economist talks about capital, they don't just mean money in the bank. They mean all the man-made tools we use to get the job done. Think about a factory's giant machines, a baker's oven, or a farmer's tractor. These things are like force multipliers. They make our labor so much more effective and productive.
And last but definitely not least is the secret sauce: entrepreneurship. This is the person, the visionary, who brilliantly combines the land, the labor, and the capital. They're the ones who spot an opportunity, organize everything, and take on the financial risks, hoping to create something new. This could be a global titan like Aliko Dangote or Elon Musk, or it could be the person who runs your favorite local shop.
So let's do a quick recap. You've got land, which gives us the raw materials from nature. You have labor, which is the human effort to transform those materials. You've got capital, the man-made tools that make the work easier and faster. And then you have the entrepreneur, who's the mastermind, the risk-taker, who pulls it all together. You see? You need all 4. Take one away and the whole recipe just falls apart.
All right, so we have our 4 ingredients. Now let's look at the 3 main stages, or let's call them flavors, of the production process. You can think of it as a journey, from a raw resource straight from the earth, all the way to a finished product or service in your hands.
So everything kicks off with primary production. This is about taking things directly from nature. Think farming cocoa beans in Ghana, mining for minerals, or fishing. Then comes secondary production. This is where we take those raw materials and manufacture them into finished goods, like turning those cocoa beans into delicious chocolate bars. And finally, you have tertiary production, which is all about services. That includes the truck driver who delivers the chocolate, the store that sells it, and even the marketing team that creates the ads for it.
Okay, so we know how things are made. We've got the ingredients, we've got the stages, but why does any of this matter so much? Well, because production isn't just about making things. It is the fundamental engine that powers our entire economy and truly shapes the world we live in.
Think about this powerful cycle. It all starts with production, right? That production creates jobs for people. Those jobs generate income, putting money in the pockets of workers and their families. With that income, people can then buy more goods and services, which, you guessed it, creates demand for even more production. It's this amazing upward spiral of growth that pushes innovation and raises the standard of living for everybody.
And here is a perfect real-world example of that in action. See, you could just grow cassava and export it as a raw material. That's primary production. But if you take the next step and process that cassava into starch,
that's a secondary product, it suddenly becomes way more valuable on the world market. That extra value is what strengthens an economy, brings in more money from other countries, and really drives growth at home.
So, let's bring it all home. Once you understand these ingredients and stages of production, you start to see the world a little differently. You begin to notice these hidden systems and processes absolutely everywhere.
So the next time you're eating a meal or watching a video, try to trace it back. See the hidden chain. See the land that gave the raw materials, the labor that shaped them, the capital that made it all possible, and the entrepreneur who had the vision to start it all. When you do that, you'll realize that production is this constant, creative, unstoppable force that is literally building our world, moment by moment.
And that really leads us to the most exciting thought of all, doesn't it? Every single great invention and innovation in human history started the same way, with one idea that one entrepreneur decided to combine with land, labor, and capital. So, as we finish up, the real question is, what's the next great idea that's just waiting to be produced? And who knows, maybe you're the one who's going to make it happen.